In December 1999, Venezuela was experiencing an unusually heavy rainy season. In the coastal state of Vargas, nestled between the Caribbean Sea and steep mountains, torrential rains battered the region for days without reprieve. The rainwater, unable to seep into the already saturated ground, cascaded down the slopes, turning streams into raging torrents. On the night of December 15th, disaster struck with full force. What began as heavy rainfall escalated into one of the worst natural disasters in Venezuela's history: catastrophic floods and massive mudslides. Entire towns were about to be wiped off the map.
Under the cover of darkness, the mountains above Vargas gave way. Tons of water, mud, and rocks hurtled down the slopes, engulfing everything in their path. Entire neighborhoods were buried under layers of mud and debris, while homes, schools, and businesses were swept away by the relentless floodwaters. Roads and bridges crumbled, and the region's lush green landscape were transformed into a muddy basin. Thousands of people were trapped, unable to escape the deluge. For many, the night was filled with terror as they clung to rooftops, trees, or anything that could keep them above the rising waters.
By the time the skies cleared, the true scale of the Vargas tragedy was revealed. Entire communities had been obliterated, and thousands of lives were lost. Official estimates reported the death toll at around 100,000 to 300,000 people, though the exact number remains unknown due to the sheer scale of destruction and the number of missing persons. Families were torn apart, and countless survivors were left homeless, wandering through the rubble in search of loved ones. The tragedy wiped out over 70% of Vargas's infrastructure, leaving the state in ruins. It was a calamity that shook Venezuela to its core.
In the immediate aftermath, Venezuela faced a humanitarian crisis of unprecedented proportions. Rescue efforts were hampered by the destruction of roads and communication lines, making it difficult for emergency teams to reach affected areas. The Venezuelan military, along with local volunteers and international aid organizations, worked tirelessly to rescue survivors, recover bodies, and deliver essential supplies. Temporary shelters were set up to house the displaced, but resources were stretched thin. The government declared a state of emergency, and countries around the world sent aid to assist in the relief efforts. Despite the overwhelming challenges, the spirit of solidarity and resilience among Venezuelans shone through.
The road to recovery for Vargas was long and arduous. Entire towns had to be rebuilt from scratch, and thousands of families had to relocate to safer areas. The Venezuelan government launched massive reconstruction projects, focusing on restoring infrastructure and providing housing for the displaced. However, progress was slow, and many survivors struggled to rebuild their lives. The psychological scars ran deep, as families mourned the loss of loved ones and lived with the constant fear of another disaster. For the people of Vargas, the tragedy was a harsh reminder of their vulnerability to nature's fury and the importance of disaster preparedness.
The Vargas tragedy served as a wake-up call for Venezuela, highlighting the need for better disaster preparedness and response. In the years following the disaster, the government implemented measures to improve early warning systems, evacuation protocols, and urban planning in vulnerable areas. Efforts were made to reforest the mountains and strengthen riverbanks to reduce the risk of future landslides and floods. However, challenges remained. As many communities continued to live in high-risk zones, the tragedy underscored the importance of long-term resilience and the role of governance in safeguarding lives against natural disasters.
Every December, the people of Vargas come together to remember the victims of the tragedy. Memorial services and community events honor those who lost their lives, and moments of silence are observed across the state. For survivors, the anniversary is a time to reflect on their resilience and the strength they found in the face of unimaginable loss. The Vargas tragedy remains a painful chapter in Venezuela's history, but it is also a testament to the courage and unity of its people. The stories of survival and solidarity continue to inspire generations, reminding them of the importance of hope and perseverance.
The Vargas tragedy left an indelible mark on Venezuela. It was a moment of immense suffering, but it also revealed the strength of a nation and its people. The lessons learned from the disaster have shaped Venezuela's approach to disaster management, and the memory of those lost serves as a constant reminder of the need to protect vulnerable communities. For the people of Vargas, life has continued, but the scars of 1999 remain. Their story is one of survival, resilience, and the unyielding human spirit in the face of nature's most devastating forces.